Man, oh man, the CBA circus continues and it is not stopping at all. We have to get into this article right here on highposthoops.com, and it is titled, "A New CBA Will Not Fix Everything That Needs Fixing in the WNBA." Before even reading the article, I already agree. I am sold. I am with you all on this. I got a whole list of things that need to change beyond this CBA, and I am ready to get all the way into it right now. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let me get into this article, and let me get right in because this needs to be discussed. At this point, all available reporting has indicated the league has opted to simply not respond to the players, and that is right, they have ignored these players.
They are not responding to their messages, and to be honest, at this point, I do not blame them for ignoring the noise. The WNBA and WNBPA are not seeing eye to eye, and the players have taken their CBA fight public for months now. Many fans can still easily recall the "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts they wore ahead of the All-Star game in Indianapolis in 2025. At the time, the possibility the season could end without a new agreement in place seemed remote, but now it is a clear reality. It is no secret the WNBA is in chaos over a new CBA, with players openly fighting with the league demanding more money. But here is the untold part. Insiders are whispering that Caitlin Clark's explosive popularity is the sole catalyst for these aggressive demands. Her arrival instantly boosted viewership and revenue, yet instead of celebrating this, many players are using it as leverage, effectively blaming her for their sudden push for more.
At this point, it is clear that not only do both parties not agree, there is an element of trust that is missing from the conversations entirely. That is why you got Breanna Stewart coming out talking about, "Oh, we do not want to deal with Kathy Engelbert. We want to talk to the owners directly. We want to cut out the middleman, and there is too much going on here that needs to be addressed." It says a lot has changed in the last 2 or 3 years, and that is true in general in the larger world that we all occupy. People from all over the world are more brazenly resolute and loudly pushing for a world they want to live in, whether that is at home, work, or anywhere. It is also true in the WNBA, where players are demanding change. But not all of it is about the future like they claim. While some have tried to encourage players to quiet down, Rebecca Lobo called them out, and you all remember that moment. While some have tried to encourage players to quiet down and be happy for what they have got, the truth of the matter is, this CBA fight is a labor dispute. One of the biggest goals is supposedly to set up a better foundation for players in the future, but I am not rolling with all that future stuff. I am going to get into all that because you got Breanna Stewart, all these other people, Nneka Agwumike, talking about the future and all, man. You all do not care about that. You all are trying to get your money right now, which is fine, but stop lying about it. You got Satu Sabali, who has been brutally honest, admitting she does not care about the league's long-term expansion plans or future prospects. She wants her money now, and this raw honesty, while refreshing, highlights the self-interest driving many players in this negotiation. Now, the title of this article, "A New CBA Will Not Fix Everything That Needs Fixing in the WNBA," and I agree with that title wholeheartedly. Let me be clear here. These players need media training. And how long have we been saying it? They get on camera, they call fans racist, they get fans kicked out of games for laughing when wigs fall off, they say that fans make fake monkey noises, all types of stuff. They lie and say, "Oh, there's an entourage of fans outside of their bus." Caitlin Clark walking into your league and you treating her fans like that is a fireable offense alone, in my opinion. And that is how I feel about that. You all need better media training, you all need better referees, and you all need to make layups. How about that? You know how many of these games we watched last year and the score at halftime was 31-30? Come on, man. Like, come on. We are not doing that. You all need to make layups, get your game right, because it is a lot of things that need to go on beyond just money. The way you all are on social media is wild, and I am talking about all the flagrant fouls too. You got Dejanai Carrington pulling people by their ponytails like it is nothing. You got Cameron Brink with blood on the floor from a broken nose, and they do not even stop the game. They just keep playing like it is nuts. This league is nuts. So there is more than needs to happen in just the CBA. There is way more than that. Why do we not even get fair scheduling? Just because Paige Buckers cannot play back-to-back because she got a bad knee, you all schedule her for no back-to-backs? What? Wait, why are you all catering to that? Like everybody else got to play back-to-back, she does not got to play none? Like, what are we talking about here? And her in the sky? Well, the sky or the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league, whatever.
There is a lot of things that need to be fixed about this league, beyond the CBA, and we need to talk about all of it. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert faces fierce criticism, and her failure to prepare the league for the Michael Jordan, aka Caitlin Clark phenomenon, is deemed a fireable offense. How can the WNBA humiliate its biggest star by not providing a professional, ready for primetime environment that she deserves? This mismanagement directly impacts Caitlin Clark's experience, forcing her into a disorganized, contentious league, ill-equipped to handle her unprecedented stardom. The refereeing standards are another glaring issue, directly impacting game quality and potentially Caitlin Clark's safety on the court. Flagrant fouls are rampant, with players like Dejounte Carrington pulling opponents by their ponytails, and Cameron Brink suffered a broken nose mid-game. Yet play continued with blood on the floor, and this lack of control and protection from officials puts Clark at undue physical risk.
Imagine the optics. A rising star like Cameron Brink gets her nose broken, blood everywhere, and the game does not even stop. This brutal indifference to player safety is a stain on the league, and such incidents not only endanger players, but also send a clear message. The WNBA's officiating prioritizes continuity over player well-being, creating a dangerous precedent that could easily impact Caitlin Clark, risking her health. Beyond fouls, the overall quality of play is questioned, with scores like 31-30 at halftime, which is a recurring problem from last season. This highlights fundamental issues with offensive execution, specifically not making layups, which is basic basketball. This low-quality basketball, often criticized by new viewers, tarnishes the product Caitlin Clark is meant to elevate. She is bringing the hype, but the actual gameplay often fails to deliver, leading to viewer frustration and her indirect humiliation. Player behavior extends to social media, where negativity and unprofessionalism often run wild, and this online conduct, frequently observed by new fans, contributes to a toxic environment. While Caitlin Clark is often a target or subject of this drama, she is forced to navigate a landscape where her peers' public actions diminish the league's credibility. This indirectly affects her own brand and the positive narrative she aims to create, making her job much harder than it needs to be. Even the scheduling appears biased, creating an uneven playing field which is completely unfair. Paige Bucher's alleged inability to play back-to-back games due to a knee injury has supposedly led to the removal of all back-to-backs from the schedule. This preferential treatment, if true, sparks questions of fairness and professionalism, suggesting the league bends rules for certain players, while others like Caitlin Clark are expected to endure any conditions, highlighting a systemic imbalance that makes no sense. The fact that Rebecca Lobo, a former player and respected analyst, had to publicly tell players to quiet down and be grateful speaks volumes. It is a damning indictment of the players' public relations strategy and professional conduct in general. When a league legend has to scold the current generation, it confirms a widespread problem, reflecting poorly on the entire WNBA. By extension, this humiliates its biggest new star, Caitlin Clark, who is caught in the crossfire of all this controversy. The fundamental issue is not just disagreements, it is a complete erosion of trust between the players and the league. The WNBA ignored player messages, refusing to respond to their concerns for over a month, which creates a toxic work environment. Caitlin Clark, a rookie, is now thrust into this deeply distrustful ecosystem, which is inherently hostile and unstable, making it incredibly difficult for her to focus on basketball. The league's operational issues are so bad they are being called amateur, with basic logistical failures everywhere. Releasing 2026 schedules for expansion teams that do not even have rosters yet highlights an amateurish approach. This disorganization and lack of professionalism humiliates the entire league, and by extension diminishes the prestige of playing in it. Caitlin Clark's arrival was meant to signal a new era of professionalism, yet she entered a league plagued by basic logistical failures. The CBA fight has gone public for months, with players wearing "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts, creating a confrontational stance. While understandable for labor rights, this creates a negative public image for the league, instead of focusing on the excitement Clark brings. The narrative is dominated by financial disputes and animosity, ensuring that her spotlight is shared, often unfavorably, with the league's internal brawls.
It is clear the WNBA was catastrophically unprepared for Caitlin Clark and her seismic impact on the sport. Her arrival should have been met with robust infrastructure, improved officiating, and a unified front from everyone. Instead, she entered a league rife with internal battles, low game quality, hostile player rhetoric, and managerial incompetence. This unpreparedness forces her to carry an immense burden, actively contributing to the challenges she faces, making her arrival far more difficult. The transcript explicitly states a new CBA will not fix everything because the problems run deeper than just money. Media training, officiating, game quality, player conduct, scheduling, and leadership all need major overhauls. These fundamental flaws create a continuous stream of obstacles and negative publicity, and Caitlin Clark is operating within a fundamentally broken system. So is Caitlin Clark's career ruined? Perhaps not entirely, but it is undeniably being sabotaged by a league that seems determined to humiliate its biggest asset. Between the media attacks, player resentment, abysmal officiating, and chaotic management, she is navigating a minefield every single day. Her unprecedented popularity has exposed the WNBA's deep-seated issues, turning what should have been a triumphant arrival into a grueling uphill battle. The greatest challenge is not the opponent on the court, it is the league itself working against her at every turn. A new CBA will not fix the media training problems, the refereeing disasters, the poor quality of play, or the toxic social media behavior. It will not fix the preferential scheduling, the operational chaos, or the complete lack of preparation for a superstar of her magnitude. The WNBA needs a complete overhaul, not just a new contract, and until that happens, Caitlin Clark will continue fighting battles she should never have to fight. The most direct act of humiliation against Caitlin Clark comes from the wholesale shunning of her entire fan base by players and media alike. They have labeled and dismissed these new fans, effectively pushing away the very audience the WNBA claims it desperately wants and needs. This paradoxical behavior directly sabotages Caitlin Clark's ability to bring new eyes and revenue, isolating her from a crucial base. It creates an unwelcoming atmosphere that could deter her own long-term commitment to a league that refuses to embrace what she brings. The league's player conduct is a major problem, and for years fans have called for better media training to fix this. Players routinely label fans as racist or fake, leading to ejections and even fabricating stories about mobs outside team buses. This aggressive fan-alienating behavior, often directed at the new, diverse fan base drawn in by Caitlin Clark, directly undermines her efforts to grow the sport and creates a hostile, humiliating environment.